Can Peter Obi ride on the crest and wave of this Nigerian disappointment?
It's quite interesting looking at the statements that were made by Peter Obi with respect to Bola Ahmed Tinubu and even Atiku. In fact, all of them
spoke. You had mentioned that there was no need to attack other candidates. That's not your style, etc. But then there was a viral video of you talking supposedly about 𝐻𝑖waju Bola Tinubu.
Quite frankly, it's something people do have context.
Okay.
I was just trying to explain to people the type of messages people send. Why would people be sending a message that if I become president, nobody will invest in Lagos again, I'll close the ports of Lagos and everything. Everybody knows that Lagos, today as it is, the ports are congested, so we need to develop new ports, new areas, we need to expand the business. Lagos is still a financial center. People have abandoned their properties in Apapa because it became a mess. So Apapa that used to be a reference place of living, people have abandoned it. So you need to open up all those things, and opening them up is trying to decongest the port by having open up new ports and everything and all that and all that. And people were saying it, and so I was trying to explain it to some, just a group of about 5-6 people. I said, look at this and everything. And they took it out of test. And I said, I wasn't in any way trying to, of course they are, how do I say it? These are my respected elder brothers, and I respect them.
Who, Tinubu is your respected elder brother?
Of course, he's another brother of mine. I respect him for who he is, and they have, even in various times in their life, contributed in their own way. In Nigeria, everybody have contributed one way or the other in the past, and they have to be respected and recognized in due time. But I'm just trying to explain that, yes, because they've contributed in the past and everything, doesn't necessarily mean that, they have to stay forever and forever. No. We must have a situation where people have done their bit and everything, they have to recognize for it, and then they move on, and then things move on. Right. It's like Brazil is today. They recognize that Pelé was sometime a star, a fantastic footballer, but they're not going to field him in today's match because, of course, he knows that things have to move on.
So your supporters are going to disagree with you on that. They're going to say, and I've asked you this before, that they're going to say this conciliatory tone doesn't work. As far as they are concerned, these are the guys that ruined the country.
No, my supporters will understand. No, they will agree with me. They know, because they, for me, they remain my respected elder brothers. Right. I was brought up to respect my seniors, especially when my seniors have one way or the other contributed. They have done their own bit. Their bit might not be the best, but you have to recognize it and say, well, there was a time these people helped to keep the whole thing going. You don't go and say, okay, let's throw them away. Let's do this. The only thing I'm saying is that where we are today, it requires somebody with the character we can trust, competence, capacity, commitment. This is a job that requires physical and mental energy because the country is in a mess and you need to deal with it. So it's not something you can say, okay, well, listen, we have to consider this man because of what he did in the past, or because, it's not a state to manage people. We are now in a situation where we have to step out in a manner and with the most qualified candidate to start decisively dealing with this issue. It's a 24-hour job. It's not something you can do now where people can say, okay, you have to rest. No, there's no. Right. 24 hours.
And I think that we can only hope that we'll be able to surmount the possible roadblocks that the ruling class may want to impose on the way of Nigerians making the right choice, of leadership.
Considering the political permutations and that is set to, we've had opposition candidates also coming up, the likes of Peter Obi, amongst the Nigerian youths, and as well as with his vice presidential candidate, 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤. I mean, what are the chances of a Peter Obi come 2023?
The chances of Peter Obi winning the presidency is bright. It's bright. I use the word bright. If the current momentum and electoral zeitgeist or zeitgeist, as the Germans will pronounce it, among the Nigerian youths is anything to reckon with. It has a South-North platform. The running mate is from the North. And I don't think that 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤 is it's not a pushover. He defeated 𝐻𝗵𝗵 in an election, to go to the Senate in Kaduna. And information from the North also shows that the youth of the northern part of this country are also being fired by that ticket. And there is a mad rush to get PVC. And it's almost like it has become like a group action or a class action that people must get their PVC. And I think that is very key in this respect. Atiku is an old guard.
Okay.
Atiku is an old guard. Then Bola Ahmed Tinubu is also an old guard. It's also an old guard. And there's basically nothing on the ground ideologically to differentiate, these candidates. Primarily the three candidates, but the only thing that Peter Obi and 𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤 have as a positive factor is that they are younger than the other elements. And might want to chart a different course, if they are given the mandate. Because if he wins on the basis of populism, of the youth of this country, then he's also obliged to a large extent, or to some extent, not to betray, the aspiration of the Nigerian, youth. And once a betrayal occurs, what you will have is an unimaginable revolution. I don't want to use unimaginable, unmanageable revolution, because Nigerians have had it to the heat.
Nigerians, and particularly the Nigerian youths, have become completely dissatisfied. They've become languorous. They're in a state of lassitude as to the failings and frailties of the Nigerian political class, the entire Nigerian political class, be it APC, PDP, NNPP, or what have you. That is the statement that Nigerians and Nigerian youths are making. They made that first statement, which galvanized into the protestations that led to the 𝐻𝐸𝐴𝑠 debate, the 𝐻𝐸𝐴𝑠. That was when the Nigerian youths made that first statement that they have become completely tired of the entire political class. So the Peter Obi tendency and proclivity in our Nigerian political juncture just now is another re-emergence, a renewed resurgimento of that dissatisfaction. So if you ask me, I will say that Governor Peter Obi just now is only a vessel, is a receptacle of that tartness, that virulence, that acrimony, that causticity, that acerbity, that asperity, and that moroseness, with which Nigerians, and particularly the Nigerian youths, perceive of the entire Nigerian political class just now. But can Peter Obi ride on the crest and wave of this Nigerian disappointment into the comfortable bowels and bosom of the Aso Rock Villa? I said no. I don't see that. And I say so with all sense of responsibility. And that is why I drew the crucial difference between two political parties. Short of and mention myself in an aqua of political namby-pambyism.
Hey,
I don't see how the Labour Party can muster 25% in about 24 states.
what?
You okay?
Shut up, Chief. Me? Shut up, that's an insult.
In this election. So Peter Obi and the Labour Party, they will come face to face with the political and electoral 12 labors of ECOS. But however, I salute his courage. I recognize his sincerity to want to cleanse the Nigerian audience tables. That would be my position just now on Peter Obi.
All right.
Atiku Abubakar, former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. How does it come across to me? And what are my perception of his chances? Atiku Abubakar has not had the privilege to serve in any executive position. The only political piazza where he has served was when he came under the shadows of the looming, towering, and avuncular former President Matthew Aremu Okikiola-kan Olusegun Obasanjo. Who else can give a competent and objective account of Atiku Abubakar more than his boss that he worked with for 8 years? The last time I checked, the competendu, or if you like, call it the report card, by former President Olusegun Obasanjo on Atiku Abubakar was very unflattering, was uncomplimentary, and very damning in any material particular. Atiku Abubakar comes to me as a candidate who wants to bring about his ambition, not even caring about puncturing the fragile lines, puncturing the centripetal forces, the agglutinating forces that binds Nigeria together. Why do I say this? The PDP party constitution recognizes zoning. The 1999 constitution talks about federal character. And that was why all the southern governors and well-meaning Nigerians begged, practically on their knees begging, all northern political dramatists personae to zone the presidency in their party to the south. Because it will be maniacally bewildering. It will be testing the patience of Job that an Hausa Fulani Northerner in President Muhammadu Buhari, having served for 8 years, will not be replaced by another Hausa Fulani Northerner in an Atiku Abubakar. But that didn't matter much to him. I don't want to hear the fallacious argument that President Buhari was from APC. The question I ask was President Buhari or is President Buhari president of APC? President Buhari is president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it will be a fallacy of post hoc ego propter hoc and a fallacy of petitio principi begging the question. to say that President Buhari was president of APC? What are his chances? I believe that the political gods of federal character, I believe that the political gods of justice, I believe that the political gods of equity, I believe that the political gods of all fair-minded Nigerians who believe that the zoning principle that was constitutionalized in the PDP's constitution and that of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will not allow Atiku Abubakar to win the election.